right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back. So, couple things. Yesterday morning, remember what I try and do. My goal is to answer as many questions, in the 15 minutes allotted as possible. And yesterday we talked about, we focused on two higher price stocks, we focused on Bitcoin and two higher price stocks. And the two higher price stocks, Blink and FUBO, both worked out beautifully yesterday, just all day grinds. Now, what's interesting is, and what I wanted to start with today is, I got a bunch of DMs and comments, and people are like, well, we want more low price stocks. And I get it, but I think, and this is my biggest point I want to make today, I get it. Most of you probably have a small account. I get it. But you don't have to be reliant on low price stocks. I mean, if you're trading the right momentum stocks, which Blink was beautiful, FUBO was beautiful. Chewy's been incredible. And if you listen, I know you want to buy 2,000 shares of a $1 stock, but if you have 200 shares of a $10 stock, if you're trading a $20 stock that moves $10, if you got 100 shares with a small account of the right higher price stocks like Blink, Chewy's, Fubo, and you got 100 shares and you make $10 a share, if you got a $2,000-$3,000 account, that's pretty good. It's $1,000, on a small account. So don't pigeonhole yourself into thinking you can only trade, 3-cent stocks. Okay. Then vice versa. Keep in mind, on your screen right now, I don't know if you can read, the text is pretty small, but this was 9:44 a.m. yesterday in the steady trade team. Okay. This 140 break, risk on a 130 fail on an XTD. We talked about in the steady trade team webinar, okay? 45-minute webinar. Drew this out, planned this to a T, and went to $2 plus. So I'll move on, but those are the biggest points I want to make. Number one, don't pigeonhole yourself. And number two, if you want to talk about more stocks, and you want to get more plans, more detail, allow me to show you something. I've done 2,405 webinars, okay? Every day, twice a day, I have not missed a day in 5 years, okay? So, if you want to come on DMs and gripe at me, step it up, all right? Anyway, let's get to work. I always like when I get chewed out for doing free stuff, and then it's like, oh, you're not doing enough. Right off the bat, main dip and rip is CNSP. All blue sky over 5. LKNCY. Man, Matt Monaco had a killer read on this yesterday. Beautiful. You guys know. Now, number one, Matt Monaco had a great alert on this. Well done, Matt, if you're watching. But you guys know this pattern. I draw it every day. So, what is this? I've done, I don't know how many videos on this. Big gainer early, consolidates around VWAP all midday, breaks the high day on high volume into the 2 p.m. window. This is 100% a VWAP hold high break. Or it's an ABCD, it's a gun pattern. There's a lot of different names for this pattern. This is by far my number one favorite pattern. And if you are a part-time trader, which I'm still working on the part-time trading book and videos along with it, this is if you're fully part-time, you should be looking for this every day. You should block off like 1:30 to 4 p.m. if you can. And if you're part-time, focus on afternoons. But again, I've drawn this a million times. It's exact VWAP hold high day break we look for every day. Now today, it's an OTC, so it's got no pre-market volume. Well, 93,000 shares. But so remember what you're looking for on, actually, LKNCY. And I know a lot of you guys like this, which it's in play. So you got two plans. You're looking for that morning panic dip buy. Remember, you're going to look for the turn on the level 2. You're going to look for the volume to come in. I like to use the 5-minute candle theory. I look for the 5-minute candle theory for that turning action on that morning panic dip buy. And then remember, this is a Chinese fraud play. So always if this morning panics and you catch that morning panic, you're always selling for, your 20, 30% bounce, okay? And you don't overstay in these morning panics. That's the biggest thing. If you buy that morning panic, if you catch that 20, 30%, you take it off and you move on. Because these have a high propensity to fail, okay? When I talk to people that trade morning panics, that's the biggest mistake. I know a lot of traders that can get good entries on these things, and they'll nail the bottom. But the biggest thing that people forget is having realistic expectations and focusing on just taking that profit when it does bounce. So you're not, let's say this panic's down to 5, okay, in this instance. And let's say let's just, for discussion's sake, you just nail the bottom. It drops to 5, you buy it at 501, and then it bounces to 6. You take that profit, okay? You don't hold all day. Because the big mistake is people try and hold all day. It turns, it blows through their entry, and now they just turned a winner into a loser. Then, now they're bag holders. Now you made that classic mistake. You had a good entry on a good setup, which a morning panic on LKNCY is a great entry. You had a nice gain. You got greedy. You didn't have realistic expectations. You turn a winner into a loser. And now, my friends, you are the idiot bag holder. Whoops. There he is. There's the idiot bag holder. Now what do? Every day you're checking the news on LKNCY. You're running news feeds. You're going to Twitter. You're going to stock twits. You're going to chat rooms. Hey, anybody know anything about LKNCY? Any news? Anything out there? I've been there. Midnight Saturday night, you're refreshing your news feed, hoping on Saturday night that they'll release a PR. Who releases a PR on Saturday night? But that's you. because you didn't have realistic expectations and you didn't realize what a morning panic dip buy is. Vice versa, on LKNCY, what's the plan late day if it doesn't panic? If this does not panic, you're looking for exactly like yesterday. Let me bring that one up. So let's say LKNCY holds the gap this morning, grind sideways. Your other entry, that OTC swizzle, okay? That VWAP hold, yeah, a lot of my boys over on Twist this week in Steady Trade, Jack, Kyle, Matt, those guys love these OTC swizzles. And that's basically, for lack, as an old man, it's the same pattern that I already drew from yesterday. So you're looking for a morning panic dip buy or a repeat of yesterday. So, all right, one more question, then I got to go. Got a little in depth, but, what do I use to make the drawings? This is I love this thing, by the way. This is a Microsoft Studio tablet. And the drawing is just built in. So it is, where is it? Yeah, right there, yep. Cool. I don't know, I would listen, if you're just day trading, I don't know if this is the ideal computer because you can't, it's got no expansion. It's basically an iMac with a touchscreen. But I tell you, if you're like teaching people, I love this thing as an instruction tool. Now, day to day, I'm using my PC or my MacBook if I'm on the laptop. But I tell you, if you're doing like instruction like I'm doing, love this thing. So. NXTD red to green. Well, it'd be nice. Man, I don't know. Listen, it's a loosely crypto related stock. Just have a stop. I just don't like this thing, History of one and dones. So listen, it is so to answer the question, this is a valid red to green setup. My only just have a stop, have a plan, but this is what concerns me. Is just all these failed spikes. So that's my concern. So, all right, guys, have a great day. I know we got a little more in depth, but I got griped at by everybody for not talking about OTCs, for not talking about cheap stocks. So I spent some time on the ultimate piece of crap, LKNCY. Again, this is a fraud play. Chinese, super duper sketchy, got kicked off the NASDAQ down to the OTCs, but I don't know. I guess I'm just balancing it out. I talked about real stocks yesterday, like BLNK and FUBO, so I humored you and talked about, one of the most terrible stocks in existence, LKNCY. So, all right, have a great day, everyone. And again, check out the Steady Trade team. I mean, like I said, a lot of you texted me or DM'd me yesterday. You didn't talk about NXTD. Yeah, I did. Okay. I didn't talk about it on the Instagram or the YouTube Live, but 9:44 a.m., right there's the timestamp. You can see it in my clock yesterday. So, have a great day. Have a great weekend.